Hi everyone, this is Dr. Renee. Previously, we uploaded an episode in our YouTube series, Connecting to Your Soul's Wisdom, that was focused on forgiveness. And in that episode, we talked about how being able to forgive is one of our most important self-help and self-healing practices. We also probed into what could be blocking you from forgiving, presenting 5 benefits and 5 practices to help you towards your goal. Now, since then, we've had a lot of conversations with our viewers and clients about this topic, and it becomes even more clear to us. While many of us really value forgiveness, most people struggle to achieve it. And that is in part because forgiveness involves you choosing to self-heal by giving up the hurt. And that's hard to do, right? And until you do, Dr. Ramona and I are here to suggest that until you become more aware of what's going on with you, and you choose to let go, there may be physical, mental, relational, and perhaps spiritual repercussions. So we decided to delve a little deeper and present options you might try. And here I'm going to choose my words very carefully, because how you try it, when you try it, and to what extent is always up to you. But we want you to resolve your internal struggle about forgiveness and self-heal. So let's listen in as Dr. Ramona takes us even deeper into the mystery of forgiveness. And as she describes what modern science and ancient wisdom tells us about grudges and triggers and how they represent barriers to living your life aligned with the energy of the heart, and what you can do to finally move on. Hi, this is Dr. Ramona. In our first episode, we asked you to answer 2 really tough questions. 1, what are you going to do to deal with the trigger or triggers that are keeping you isolated from your family, your friends, your potential because you can't or won't forgive? And then number 2, what will it take for you finally to be ready to give up that grudge and do whatever it takes to forgive? Let's face it, we've all been there. Dr. Renee and I are the product of a biracial family that wasn't ready for us in a time before biracial marriage wasn't even legal. And later, we found employment in corporate America that made us feel like they had to hire women engineers. And even today, with our doctorates in mind and body medicine, microaggressions that are tied to who we are and what we do remain. Only now, as integrative and frequency medicine clinicians and practitioners, what we do and who we are doesn't always align with the perspectives of members of this medical community reorienting itself to the realities of a quantum universe driven by holistic tenets. So yeah, we get it. We get how racial triggers and gender-based triggers and dogmatic scientists triggers can tamp down on innovation and growth. And we had to do that inner work to let go of self-limiting conditioning. What's a trigger? A trigger is any larger than a normal emotional reaction to an experience. That experience can be an event in your life. It can be an event in the life of a family member, a friend, and even someone you don't know, but who shares something in common with you, like the color of your skin or your gender or your sexual orientation. A trigger can be a person or a word or a series of words like "I can't breathe," which triggered a global social movement. Again, a trigger is an emotional reaction to an experience. Not all triggers are negative, of course. Some produce uplifting feelings, like memories, like the scent of some perfume that reminds you of a loved one. Now, positive triggers can help put emotionally challenging triggers into more perspective. In general, though, for this episode of our forgiveness series, a trigger sends us into memories of fear, shame, hurt, despair, grief, negative emotions. And negative emotions stimulate what we call the sympathetic nervous system reactivity, better known as fight, flight, freeze, or appease behavior. Your heart races, your pupils dilate, your digestion shuts down, and your body readies itself faster than a blink of an eye to survive these next few moments. And because some of these triggers happen so fast and unexpectedly, it's hard for us to rein them in. But Dr. Renee and I are here to tell you that you can rein them in. We've learned how to do it, And if you don't, these reactions may start to interfere with your ability to live your life the way you want and the way you dream of being able to. So in our world, where your biography becomes your biology, where everything is energy, triggers are conditioned energetic patterns of behavior. They are limiters of your unlimited potential. Nevertheless, though, they serve a purpose because we believe that everything in the cosmic universe does. They're clues. They present in our current lives to lead us to discover where in our past we may want to focus our resources to find answers to the root of our forgiveness resistance. And with some courage and even just a little bit of willingness, we can peel back those layers surrounding those clues and then use emotions to help us figure out where we're triggered and ultimately connect our soul cells to this therapeutic process that will help us lead into self-healing and forgiveness. So how can we become courageous enough to feel deserving of self-healing? Big topic. Clearly not for a few-minute YouTube video, but you might want to choose to investigate what it would take, what it would mean for you to let go of old grudges. You might want to learn about healthy ways of coping, like mindfulness, meditation. We have a video on that. Doing yoga, exercising, distracting yourself, learning deep breathing. We have a video on that too. And setting healthy boundaries. I want you to look at our video on harnessing the untapped power of gratitude too. You could choose to talk to a person you trust and get their opinion on how you're handling a trigger or a grudge. Dr. Renee, I know that both science and ancient wisdom show that when you fixate on negative emotions, it erodes your well-being. It increases your opportunity to ruminate, and you feel angrier, you get more stressed, and you just get more negative. In the introduction to this episode of our series on forgiveness, Dr. Renee mentioned that we talked about 5 benefits you may realize when you choose to forgive. Please go look at that again. It's well worth reviewing. Also, if you're really looking to lower your risk of physical illness, you want to repair a damaged relationship, improve the health of your brain and every one of the trillions of cells in your body, understand that at their root, triggers that have been around for a long time will increase your body's susceptibility towards inflammation. And if you're under any kind of daily stress, which most of us are, then that inflammation could be chronic. So for more information on how to use frequency medicine approaches to deal with the impact of chronic inflammation, please view our video on COVID-19, where we share sound frequency techniques and modalities that will help impact your inflammation. So today, Dr. Ramona talked about what a trigger is and how it keeps us from forgiving, and it limits our potential to live out our dreams. I'd like to add, while it's important to become aware of what triggers you, holding on to a grudge is just not a good place to be in. It's not good for your head, and it's not good for your heart. Our triggers are clues given to us by the universe, waiting for us to wake up. A universe that wants us to experience wholeness, to help us find a way through the hurt, through the trauma, through those feelings of disconnection and vulnerability, and the fear that hijacks our nervous system and makes us feel discounted, less than, smothered, and a host of other emotions that come along with living in relationship and connection with others. Ultimately, the choice to do something about your triggers is always yours. Identifying and letting go of triggers is good for the offender, but it's great for you. And when you commit to your self-healing, it sends a message, a heart signal that tells your body, your mind, and your cells that you are 100% committed for healing happening to you. Now, this one decision, when you put it into practice, has the power to change your state of being and bring you greater health, greater healing. That'll be life-altering. Both science and spirit support this decision. And so do we. We're committed to helping you become your highest self. So just remember to be kind to yourself, have some compassion on this journey, and offer yourself some grace and some time as you seek to know yourself better. So take a moment now, if you would, and tell us in the comments below, what triggers have you found? And how is your journey to resolving them going? Thank you so much for joining us for this session about triggers and this series that we have on the amazing benefits of forgiveness. We'd love to answer any questions you might have. Connect with us and check out our website at www.rollihs.com, and there's a direct link in the description below. Also, please subscribe. We love your support. And as we mentioned, please review and or check out some of our other videos. Direct links in the description along with supporting research for you to study down below. So we're the Roll Twins, and we connect science to ancient wisdom in downloads that offer healing. Peace and love to you and yours.